This vintage diver watch comes from San Martin, the SN0133. It has a couple of things to it which really make it stand out from the rest. First of all, it's got a sapphire crystal bezel. Not ceramic, sapphire crystal, and it gets that nice, almost a 3D convex effect. Lovely. And all the usual stuff like, the synthetic sapphire crystal, anti-reflective coating, screw and crown, screw down case back, stainless steel construction. But if it was so easy to judge a watch by its components, we really need to dissect this watch to understand how good or bad it is. Now, this watch here was sent to me by AliExpress, and I'll be doing an honest and unbiased review as per usual, really. Check out the links to the listing in the description below the video. There you will also find some discount codes that will help you get more savings for this watch or any other pieces on AliExpress. And to the side of me right now, you'll see the cashback challenge. So once you join my team, you will be able to get cashback from 2 to 10% on any purchases across AliExpress, or just click on the QR code just below. And now let's dive in and talk about this San Martin diver watch. Let's do it. This San Martin is part of the brand's Vintage Dive series. What we're looking at is the blue dial with matching blue bezel variant. From the top down, the stance is assertive. You've got wide set lugs, a tall coin-edge bezel that slightly overhangs the brush case flanks, and a narrow polished bevel, transitioning cleanly between the brush surfaces of the flanks and the lug hoods. Dimensions are as follows: 40mm case diameter, 12.8mm thickness, and a 51mm lug-to-lug length due to the protruding male endlings. The crown diameter is 5.8mm, while the lug width is the standard 20mm, and the bracelet tapers down to 16 at the clasp. The flanks of the mid-case are flat, and just beneath them you can see the lip of the screw-down case back. It's fluted and circular brushed. The bezel edge above slightly overhangs the flank, with wide coin-edge teeth that are polished on the outside but brushed in the recesses, creating layered light play. The bezel insert is sapphire, not ceramic, giving it a domed convex appearance with 3D quality. Just above it is a boxy synthetic sapphire crystal with anti-reflective treatment. It lifts slightly above the bezel line, reinforcing the vintage aesthetic. The crown is screwed down and signed with the San Martin hexagonal logo. All finishing and case transitions are deliberate and sharply defined, with no decorative clutter, a purpose-built layered diver profile. Operating the crown on the SN0133 is a clean, deliberate experience. The crown measures 5.8mm in diameter and is easy to grip thanks to its defined notchiness. It's not a tall crown, but the cut of the knurling gives enough traction to unscrew it without issue. Once released, the first crown position engages the manual winding function. As expected with the NH35 movement inside, a Japanese automatic caliber from Seiko, the winding action feels smooth and fluid, aided by the magic lever system that transfers motion efficiency in both directions. It's got a buttery, low-resistance turn with good tactile feedback across each rotation. Pulling to the second position reveals a ghost date detent. There's no date complication on this dial, but the phantom click is still there. At the third and final position, time setting is straightforward. The hands move without slop and the indexing torque feels firm. There's no drift or play in the minute hand, so it lands exactly where you leave it. Once adjusted, the crown pushes in cleanly and screws down with a solid, controlled thread engagement. It's a secure and reassuring mechanism. No roughness, no slack. The crown action does define a watch, but on a diver, we also have the bezel, so let's take a look at that now. The bezel on this San Martin is a standout element, both visually and mechanically. It features a tall coin-edge profile with a slightly overhanging lip above the case, making it easy to grip and rotate. The notching is precise and well-defined, allowing confident engagement from any angle. Rotation itself is firm, there's heavy, consistent resistance throughout the cycle, with each click producing a sharp, well-pronounced ratchet sound. This isn't a loose or floating bezel, it's a tightly engineered mechanism. There's zero backplay here, there's no sponginess, no spring flex between detents. Each position locks in with authority, and there's no drift or midpoint slop. Where you set it is exactly where it stays. This level of indexing precision is a hallmark of San Martin's machining quality. The overhang is minimal, reducing the chance of accidental bezel movement during wear, and the resistance adds another layer of security. The insert itself is convex sapphire, giving the bezel a 3D light-catching effect. It's not just the aesthetic. The bezel markings are fully luminous as well, and we'll actually come back to that when we look at the lume performance in the dial section. But from a functional standpoint, this bezel is tight, exact, and confidence-inspiring. The bracelet here is a 5-link J-style stainless steel construction, and it plays a key role in how the watch wears. With protruding end links pushing the total lug-to-lug length to 51mm, you'd expect overhang on smaller wrists, but that's not the case here. The slightly downturned lugs and sharply pivoting first links allow the bracelet to drape cleanly, even on my 6.5-inch wrist, with no lift or gap. Considering we've got the J-style layout, 2 brushed outer links and 3 polished center links, giving it a dressier, more luxurious contrast. Tolerances aren't the tightest. There is visible spacing between links and a bit of stretch, but link articulation is excellent. The bracelet conforms well to the wrist with a smooth, fluid motion. Sizing is done via screw pins, a welcome detail. It tapers from 20mm at the lugs down to 16 at the clasp, and that clasp itself is fully milled. Design-wise, the clasp integrates with the case language. 45-degree bevels along the top edges reflect the polished transitions of the case profile. It's a double pusher release, edged with the San Martin logo, and opens to a milled folding wing. Most notably, it features an on-the-fly adjustment system, letting you fine-tune fit without tools. Structurally and functionally, this is a well-equipped bracelet for daily wear and wrist comfort. And now to center stage. So it's not just about the dial, it's also about the lume, because I've actually done a test recently, and I've compared this San Martin right here versus Proxima and an Addis Dive watch. And yeah, we'll talk about that when we reach the lume section. Sitting just above the convex sapphire bezel is a slightly boxy dome synthetic sapphire crystal treated with anti-reflective coating. When viewed from sharper angles, you'll catch a subtle green-purple sheen across the surface. The dial itself is clean, symmetrical layout with no date window. A printed minute chapter runs around the outer edge, while the hour markers are applied indices. Long batons at 3, 6, and 9, a downward triangle at 12, and circular plots filling in the rest. All these indices are lume filled and outlined in dark chrome, giving sharp contrast against the aquatic blue base. The handset follows suit, classic 3-hand layout, fully lumed and edged in dark chrome. The second hand is chromed as well, with a red-tipped lollipop point that adds just a touch of sportiness as it sweeps the dial at 6 vibrations per second. As for the lume, it's bright, long-lasting, and evenly applied across all markers, hands, and even the bezel. I recently tested this model in a lume showdown against an Addis Dive 80-20-89 and a Proxima PX-1737. And this San Martin came out on top, hands down. You can check out the full lume test video linked just above. So what do you reckon? Does this watch live up to the hype it's experiencing on AliExpress? I think it is. Like the sapphire crystal bezel, that's interesting. I also like that it's got the vintage look to it, but it's not overly retro. Do you know what I mean? Like with the boxy sapphire crystal, it's just a little bit, just a hairline above the bezel. It doesn't go into full retro mode. It's still very stylish, very contemporary, sporty, and yeah, it just looks the part, doesn't it? Anyways, the link to the listing is in the description below the video. Check it out if you're after a sharp price. As well as that, check out the discount codes and check out my team on the cashback challenge for more discounts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.